Hello, Namaskar and a very good evening to all the viewers watching our session out there. This is Simran Singh and you are watching this particular live telecast on eVidya channel number 6 to 12. Besides, we have so many different mediums through which you all can connect with us. You can participate in our live interactive questions with the help of your queries. Well, you may write to us in the comment section of our YouTube channel, that is NCRT Official. So it's around 4 p.m. on your watch, and regularly from 4 till 5 we have our very special sessions for all our viewers. So once again I would like to take the moment to welcome all of you in our special session that we are running on digital initiatives in education by states, union territories or autonomous organizations. And today the participating state is Nagaland. So providing us more insights into the digital initiatives that have been undertaken by the state of Nagaland, I am honored to inform you that we have our three guests to provide and highlight more on this information. So allow me to introduce you with our today's guest for the session. We have with us Mr. Daniel Thong Sep, sir. Namaskar, sir. Good evening. Sir is currently serving as an associate professor at SCERT from Nagaland. Then we also have with us Dr. Bijano Muri, madam. Namaste, ma'am. Good evening. Ma'am, we welcome you in this conversation. Ma'am is a joint MD at Samagra Shiksha. She has also connected with us from Nagaland. And our third and the last speaker for today's session is Mr. B. Niliyappan, sir. Namaskar, sir. Good evening.
Namaste, madam.
We welcome you in this conversation with open arms. Sir is a Deputy Director at School Education from Nagaland. So in this live interactive session, if you have any queries, any feedback or messages for us, then please write to us in the comment section. Besides, here is a contact number, it's flashing on your screens. You may note down this number, that is 8800-440-559, and a specific mail ID for all of you is again flashing on your screens. It is training.helpdesk@ciet.nic.in. So I am eagerly waiting to know more about the digital initiatives that have been undertaken in the field of education by the state of Nagaland. So in the first place, here in conversation, I would like to invite Daniel, sir, to provide us more guidance regarding the initiatives that have been taken by SCERT. Daniel, sir, please.
Hi, Kupnalin from Nagaland. It's a pleasure for us to bring to you our digital initiatives taken in our state. I will be bringing to you the initiatives taken by SCERT in the first part, and in the second part, my colleagues, Dr. Bijano and Mr. Niliyappan, will be sharing initiatives. To start with, let's have a look at the first slide. The SCERT Nagaland has taken a number of initiatives in digital initiative in education. However, I would like to bring and highlight some of the important ones which we have taken and which I feel our viewers need to know. The journey for Diksha digitization of our SCERT developed textbooks starts with the formation of the State Resource Group and an orientation given by the CIET and CRT New Delhi. The State Resource Group came back and were competent enough to develop e-resources or e-content. Look at the textbook, and then a series of workshops identifying the hotspots in the textbook took place, and depending on that hotspots, it was synced with the learning outcome, and the QR codes were embedded in the textbooks. We would like to acknowledge the help given by the resource person from the CIT and also Diksha, that the textbooks could be successfully QR coded. We could finish textbooks from class 3 to class 8 in English and SS and mathematics, and 5 to 8 in science. We are also happy that recently Some of our newly appointed lecturers in the diet and officers from SCERT are given orientation. So the new and the old SRGs will be merged and they'll be developing better content. And as such, we have covered around 75% of our textbook with QR coding. The remaining job is left for them to do. Can we go to the next slide, please? This is the inauguration of our SCERT and EduSat studio and telecasting studio here. This was much awaited actually. It took some time for us to arrange this, but with the basic things which are there for audio and video recording, it was sufficient for us. It is an honor that to have our former principal secretary, Manukul John, to inaugurate this place in the presence of our advisor to the government of Nagaland, led Tushu Wongtong. And as an exemplary, this studio has served us alone. I'm proud to say that the first recording was done by my former director, Mr. T. Sekose. And when we look into the country and globally, pandemic has affected us a lot. But the most and the worst affected were the children. Also the worst affected were the persons with disabilities and children with special needs. And there is a way of addressing it and a way to mitigate it. We decided to start developing content to help the parents, to help the children with special needs, and to help the teachers. A series of video was made in the area of intellectual disabilities, how to take care of children with intellectual disabilities, how to help parents and students to manage specific learning disabilities and the children suffering from dyslexia and dysgraphia, and also how to help children with speech therapy and how to help to calm down the children, those who are hyperactive, with music therapy. So a series of video was made and we could upload it to the YouTube. Yes, we have our shortcomings, but this studio was a landmark, and definitely this will continue to do so. We are also looking forward to upgrade this studio, but right now we are happy with what we have now as it is helping us. Can we go to the next slide, please? Yes, these are the series of links which I have given here so that our viewers can click and see for themselves. The first, we have the EduSat link website, and also we have a YouTube link there. You can have a look at it and see. The second, we have the School Leadership Academy. The School Leadership Academy have contributed a lot to the professional development of the administrators, the head teachers, headmasters, and principals. They went to the extent of taking up videos and making documentary for the successful teachers or successful administrators or the head teachers or the principals, and they have uploaded in the video in their YouTube as well. It is encouraging to see that School Leadership Academy is also doing well in the area. Next, we have the channel, the website of our heritage films. Very interesting and very proud for us because it reflects our elements, our ethos and our culture of who we are, of who the Nagas are, and what are the skills and what are the expectations from the different peer groups, and also what does the tattoo and the pattern in the shawl mean for us. This is an eye-opener for our young generation. Many of them has lost this knowledge, could not be passed on to them. But now this is beautifully captured and short films, and I'm proud to say that just recently we have released 12 short films by our advisor to the government of Nagaland, Sri Kati Sukhalu, in presence of our Commissioner Kevileno Angami. And we are circulating it and we have uploaded it even in the YouTube as well. Can we have a look at the next slide, please? Yes. To come to this slide, allow me to put this on. Because this is in direct relation with the videos which we will be seeing. The first is the Feast of Merit, and the second is the Naga traditional peer group system. Shall we have a look at the videos?
Uncle, what is the Feast of Merit?
My child, Feast of Merit is a Naga practice of organizing a feast for the whole village by a rich person.
So, can any rich man host a Feast of Merit?
No, my child. Only a married rich man can be a feast giver.
How long do we celebrate the Feast of Merit?
This Feast of Merit can be celebrated just for a day or can even stretch on for days.
Uncle, how is the Feast of Merit celebrated?
It generally begins with a Mithun sacrifice, but a lot of other animal meat is also used in preparing this huge, lavish feast of meat, rice, and rice beer.
Ah, okay. But after you finish hosting the feast this time, can you host the feast again?
Ha ha ha! Yes, I can. This feast can be hosted by a person many times in his lifetime, so long as he is able to afford it. With each feast, his position in the society increases. However, it is difficult, so many people host it only once or twice in his lifetime.
Uncle, what are some of the reasons why the Feast of Merit is celebrated?
All Nagas celebrate the Feast of Merit. In some tribe, it is a way of saying that he, the feast giver, is willing to share his riches with everyone in his village or his relatives. In some tribe, it is done to show friendship, while some do it as thanksgiving to God for giving him riches.
Uncle, what are the different kinds of activities performed to mark this special event?
A good question. So try and visualize as I explain. To mark this special event, some tribes pull huge stones and erect monoliths, like this. Some erect wooden white posts, either with a carved Mithun head or without it, like this. Some get to have house horns on the front part of their roofs. Hence, it differs from tribe to tribe. Besides these, the feast giver, and in some tribes, even his family members, earn the right to wear special clothes and ornaments which others cannot.
Wow, I didn't realize we celebrated such a beautiful festival. I have learned that I shall be willing to share my sweets and my toys with others and not be greedy. I have also learned that sharing is loving and will practice it in the future as well, and ask my friends to do the same.
Ha 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 ha! Well done, my child.
Yes, Daniel sir, what a beautiful video we have just displayed for our viewers regarding the Feast of Merit.
Thank you, Samran. Can we go to the next video also?
Of course, sir. The next video is about the Naga traditional peer group system, and I'm pretty sure that it also turns out to be interesting for all our viewers. So we have our video on the screens. The viewers watching our live interactive session, if you have any of the queries, of course, we have our 3 guests with us in the conversation, our esteemed panelists. So feel free to write down to us about your views, your feedback, your queries in the comment section of NCERT Official. In the first place, we are in conversation with Daniel Sir, and he is apprising us more about the initiatives undertaken by SCERT Nagaland in the field of education. So just now we had a view of a beautiful video that gave out a beautiful message regarding the Feast of Merit, and the second one we have regarding the Naga traditional peer groups system.
We all love our friends and enjoy doing things together with them. Working or learning is more fun when it's done with friends. Even in the past, our grandparents enjoyed the company of their friends and did so many activities with them. Today, we will learn about how friends of the same age lived, worked, and enjoyed friendship in the traditional peer group system. The traditional Naga peer group system is found in almost all Naga tribes. In this system, young men and women in the village are divided into different groups according to their age. This is why these groups are called by different names in different tribes, such as Chehutmai in Liangmai, Malakro in Chokri, Aiha in Phom, and so on. Roughly, it translates to peer group or age group. After every few years, a new age group is formed in a village. The range of age group differs from one village to the other. For example, in some village, people born within 2 years form one group, while in others it is 3 years or 5 year span or more. Most members enter into a peer group when they reach puberty. A member is part of his group till he gets married or dies. Peer groups either have both girls and boys together in the same group or separate, depending on the village or tribe.
When I was 6 years old, my peer group was inducted into a Kikraki, which means a peer group house.
I joined peer group at the age of 16 years.
I joined the generation at the age of 30.
Life with the peer group is the fondest and the best life cycle of the community. Even though most Nagas follow this system of peer group, the structure and functions of each peer group differ. In some villages, members of the peer group live in the traditional morung. A morung is a dormitory institute of education and discipline. In this system, members are inducted into the morung as they join the age group. Every group has its own rules to play in the morung, with the youngest group doing lighter chores such as collecting firewood and running errands, the middle age groups doing heavier domestic workload with social responsibilities, and finally, the older age groups making decisions for the village and performing religious ceremonies. In some cases, a village elder is appointed to mentor and guide the peer groups. Let us listen to one such group and find out more about how they function.
In my village, Konoma, the elders of the Kill finds a respectable elder who will fit the role of the patron. Under his patronage, guidance, and tutelage, the peer group is entrusted to him, and the peer group grows under his care. The peer group name is identified by the patron's name.
A different type of group is the one where a generation of several peer groups governs the entire village. This is called Putumendan by the Aus, Medan by the Changs. Here, the role of the members are very important, not only for the functioning of the group, but for the whole community.
Amaran Chang under the Ido Noksan Village, Medan, Koigana, Ido generation na, Ido, Ekton Mano, Tisal, Huele Tai, Ido Medan di Tagibo. 86 members Ido, generation do, Charda, Pakuligana se, Ekta generation Laga Tram do 20 years. Charda generation do inigal role Wuligana Thagi.
During the 20 years period, the main responsibility of the Matan generation is we have to look over the boundary issues like the water dispute among the villages, and especially during the burning of the Jum cultivation. The Matan we used to take part.
In any Naga village, the peer groups are known for their roles and activities. Their responsibility not only lies within the group circles, but also expands to the community. Therefore, many of their activities are of community service. Some common activities that peer groups perform include agricultural activities in fields, community mass work in the village, performance of songs and dances during festivals, etc.
We have so many activities, but among them, we used to work together in a field for earnings.
One of the things that I enjoyed the most is the company of my peer groups.
I also learned the social and moral values in a community life.
When the tester reach a certain age, they contribute something to the community. For example, a resting place, a footpath, or anything that will benefit the community.
Peer groups not only learn to do manual work and enjoy the company of each other, but also learn value lessons. They inculcate good habits, develop a sense of responsibility towards the community, and also willingness to lend a helping hand. The traditional peer group system is still functional in many Naga villages and towns. Some works of present-day peer groups include construction of resting huts, conducting social service, and organizing peer group sports meet and festivals. Although the system may have altered with time, peer groups continue to preserve the values of this important system that fosters community spirit and promotes social responsibility.
So sir, these videos were pretty interesting and valuable because we have learned a shared responsibility, moral values, cultural values being attached to our roots. So just not the academic performance or the academic knowledge that we are getting from our textbooks. I think it has widened the horizon of our understanding of this world, our society at large, and how we can be of use to our community. Yes, sir.
Definitely, definitely. I hope it will help our children, the younger generation, and even people from outside our boundaries to know something about our culture. Thank you. Let's move over to the part 2.
Yes, sir.
Dr. Meru will take care.
Thank you so much, sir, for apprising us about these significant details, whether it's about the Diksha, digitization, SCERT being a hub of education, and two beautiful videos that we have just come across and learned a lot. So here in the conversation, we still have around 20 to 22 minutes left. Now I would like to invite our next panelist in the conversation, Dr. Bijano Muri madam, to discuss more on the initiatives that are undertaken by Samagra Shiksha from Nagaland. Muri ma'am. Bijano ma'am, please proceed ahead. Yeah. Bijano ma'am, am I audible? Please respond.
Vijana has to unmute herself.
Oh, ma'am, please unmute yourself because we are not able to hear you.
Yes, can you hear me?
Yeah, of course, ma'am. Please proceed.
Yeah, so is my screen visible?
Yes, it's completely visible.
Okay, so I'm Dr. Bijano Muri and I will be speaking on the Nagaland Reading Festival that was held under the Micro Improvement Program. So the NEP 2020, as we all know, encourages innovation, problem solving and leading, which needs to be developed in a continuous manner in the education system. And the objective of the Micro Improvement Program is to...
Of course, ma'am. Ma'am, we will be discussing about the Micro Improvement Program, but here I request you to make your slides full screen so it would be clearly understandable. Yes. From the beginning, the slideshow, that is the option out there.
Yes.
Yes, ma'am. It is there. It is there, ma'am. You may continue.
All right. So under the Micro Improvement Program, we conducted the Nagaland Reading Festival, which was launched on the 5th of September by the Honorable Chief Minister. And this reading festival, as we can see on the screen, it aims to encourage the school leaders to innovate and solve reading requirements in their schools, collect stories and best practices for school improvement and innovation, motivate school teams by recognizing their efforts, and empower school leaders to engage in a continuous journey of micro improvements. So what we did was first we set up the state and district level MI festival teams. So the state level teams consisted of members from Samagra Shiksha, Department of School Education, SCERT and NBSC to basically their role was to convene, anchor and monitor the whole program. And in the same way, we had teams in the district level also doing the same thing. We have 11 districts in our state, and so we formed 11 reading festival groups in the district level, which consisted of the district education officer, assistant district coordinators, and diet lecturers and TOTs. So we also conducted an orientation for the district level reading festival committees so that they know their functions, their roles. And this orientation was conducted by Samagra Shiksha along with resource persons from Shiksha Lokam and SCERT. And so this, through this meeting, we could orient the district level functionaries, and in the next phase, the district level teams conducted an orientation for the school heads to implement this program in their schools, as well as give them hand-holding in how to use the Diksha portal. So these are some of the posters that were made to advertise this reading festival, the Nagaland Reading Festival. We created a logo of our own, and this is another poster to create more awareness about the Nagaland Reading Festival. And so how we implemented it was we collaborated with a Bangalore-based Shiksha Lokam, and they gave us good hand-holding and support in this program. And the school heads implemented the festival by organizing various activities in their schools for the children so that, reading skills could be enhanced. And now, as I say this, I would also like to mention that one of the objectives of the Nipun Bharat mission is to strengthen the foundational literacy and numeracy of children. And so this reading skill comes along under that, and that is why we emphasized on reading in this micro improvement program. And so in the schools, they could, come up with any innovative program that would enhance reading skill in the children, generate interest in reading, like conducting activities like read aloud, role play, comprehension tests and quizzes after reading, and even initiating, and activating reading corners, etc. So these activities the school heads had to implement in their schools, and they had to make a report and upload it on the Diksha portal along with videos and pictures. And so this reading festival concluded on the 30th of November 2022, and the state is still in the process of sorting out the projects that were submitted, and in the process we intend to reward and maybe recognize the best three schools who have come up with innovative programs under this reading festival. So on the screen you can see some few pictures of a few schools conducting read alouds and reading competitions in their schools. So this also is another picture showing such activities, a reading corner in one of the schools in Nagaland. And here also we can see students participating in a reading competition being held in a particular school in Kohima. So in this way, the Diksha portal was used to generate the reports for school heads to submit their reports, and as I said, evidence-based reports. But sadly, we could not, have maximum participation. Of course, out of the 1,939 schools that were enlisted, we had a participation of around 1,000 plus schools, and out of which only 579 schools could submit their reports. Some had initiated the program, but they could not submit their reports on the Diksha portal. But since this is the first of its kind in the state, we hope that in future, more participation will take place in under different activities, not just reading, but we intend to have other activities also under the micro improvement plan. So these are a few figures that I would like to display. This is the district-wise participation. So here we can see the highest participation came from Dimapur district, followed by Mokokchung district, and thirdly by Peren district. So some districts, though they were very enthusiastic about the program, they could not report on the Diksha portal due to network and connectivity issues, but they were submitting their reports through WhatsApp also. So all in all, we are quite positive about it. We are satisfied with the participation of the state. So this is the reading festival that was held in Nagaland. Thank you so much.
Ma'am, thank you for sharing this precious and valuable information with all our viewers regarding the micro improvement program, then the festival teams, the mode of implementation, the posters that you just displayed for our viewers regarding the awareness of the reading festival that was undergoing in Nagaland, along with the figures on submission. Then I would like to inform our viewers that we have around 10 to 12 minutes left in this conversation. Very quickly, if you have any of the queries, do mention them in the comment section of NCERT Official. Now, I would like to invite our last speaker in the conversation, Mr. Niliyappan sir, to apprise our viewers more regarding the initiatives that are taken by school education in Nagaland.
Good evening, ma'am. Good evening,
sir.
all. Thank you for giving the opportunity of sharing some of the digital initiatives taken by the Department of School Education. I would be sharing few of the activities undertaken by us.
Yes, sir. We request you to make the slides full screen so it is clearly conducive and visible for all our viewers.
Yes, ma'am. Is it visible, ma'am?
Yes, sir. The slides are perfectly visible to us, of course, regarding the digital initiatives taken by the Department of School Education. Sir, I request you to please continue.
Thank you, ma'am. The first initiative is online tele-radio education broadcast. During the COVID-19 pandemic, all the schools were closed and we were having apprehension that we need to wait for the pandemic to get over, because Nagaland is a state which has the shortcoming of lot of connectivity issues. So during this time, the Department of School Education has selected some of the best teachers stationed in Kohima, and we produced educational videos with the help of a production team. So the videos produced by the production team, we broadcasted through Doordarshan, our social media channels, YouTube, Facebook, and the audios were broadcasted through All India Radio and also through Jio TV. So people were having apprehension of that a state having shortcomings of connectivity issues may not be able to succeed in this venture, but we conducted it very successfully, and all students and teachers were quite happy with our broadcast. Next, the online evaluation portal. During the pandemic time, we thought the conventional tools of evaluation may not work systematically, so we designed an online portal which could work efficiently even with 3G network. So we conducted 3 phases of evaluation on the topics covered through the tele-education program, and the best performing students were given attractive cash incentives and awards. So this encouraged the students to view the educational broadcast conducted by the department sincerely, and the evaluation was very much appreciated by the students and the teachers during the pandemic time. Next, online school monitoring system. This was also introduced during the pandemic time. In order to monitor the activities being undertaken by the school, particularly government schools, during the pandemic time, we devised a software, so through which we were monitoring the day-to-day activities, like how many students are having access to the different modes of the broadcast, how many students are viewing through television, how many are using YouTube. So all those details we were capturing through the school monitoring system. And for monitoring this, a continuous and continuous learning and monitoring cell was constituted at the Directorate of School Education, which was headed by the Principal Director of the School Education. Next, online teachers transfer portal. In order to make the teacher transfer process a transparent one, a portal was designed and introduced. So the interested teachers could apply for transfer through this portal, and the transfer orders were processed and issued in bulk well ahead of the commencement of the academic sessions. So this built a confidence factor among the teachers that the department is working in a transparent way. Next, Teachers app. In order to train the teachers during the pandemic time and also after the pandemic got over, to make the teachers aware of the resources available, the developments happening around them, so we developed a Teachers app. It is made mandatory for all the teachers to download this app, and it connects the teachers with the Department of School Education directly. So from the department, we are able to send communications to the teachers directly from the Directorate of School Education, which is also monitored by the district officers as well as the state officers. Next, we introduced the Free India 4.0 education project in association with a firm from Hyderabad, IB Hub, through which we are training nearly 3,000 students in the latest techno education for a period of 3 to 4 years. So through this project, we are able to cater the needs of the economically backward children. Next, Diksha Coherent Access Project. During the pandemic time, through the Diksha app, we have broadcasted the important video lessons for preparing children for appearing the class 10 and 12 board exams. Next, Gurushala Teacher Training Program. In association with the Pradham Education Foundation, we have trained nearly 10,000 teachers in the latest technologies, how to use the web and the latest technologies for carrying out their teaching learning activities in the school. Next, certification program for teachers in COVID responsiveness. In association with Staff Administrative College of India, Hyderabad, we have trained nearly 2,000 teachers in COVID responsiveness, particularly how to carry out the teaching learning activities in the school once the pandemic gets over. Next, the Nagaland Education Management and Information System. We have developed our own Nagaland Education Management Information System and brought all the government and private schools under the purview of this NEMIS. So through NEMIS, we are able to monitor the day-to-day activities of the schools and the performance and the improvement of each and every student. Next, personalized adaptive learning platform. In association with a firm from Bangalore, the India Visual Learning Limited, they are implementing this personalized adaptive learning platform in nearly 100 government schools. On a pilot project, we launched this one. So by seeing the improvement of the program, we are planning to cover more schools under this program. Next, Digital Teachers Diary. In the year 2019, we introduced a system of all the government school teachers using a teacher's diary, the manual teacher's diary, and from 2020, we started spreading using this diary by all the teachers. Now, in the year 2022, this teacher's diary, manual teacher's diary, has been converted into digital teacher's diary. And this digital teacher's diary is integrated with the teacher's app. So now, with the help of this digital teacher's diary, teachers enter the particulars, such as topics, which classes they are teaching, what are the topics they teach, and the details of assessment examination conducted, what is the performance of students. So all these details are entered in the teacher's app by the teachers, and which can be monitored by the school principal, the district officers, and the state level officers. So now from the state authorities and the district authorities are able to know the performance of each and every teacher from the click of a mouse. So, and also we are also checking the attendance of the teachers using this digital teacher's diary.
Of course, Neliyappan sir, you are sharing certain significant details with our viewers, but I'll have to request you to wrap up the conversation because we are not left by much time here in our live interactive session.
Yes, ma'am. And the last but one, that Asas Question a Day, we have launched a program that the students can browse the topics on in our departmental website. They can answer the questions which will induce their thinking capacity. And next, online services for students and schools by the Nagaland Board of School Education. The Nagaland Board of School Education has introduced all the student activities as well as the activities to be carried out by the schools in an online way. Earlier, they were submitted physically to the Board of School Education. Now, all the activities has been changed into online format. Thank you for the time.
Thank you so much, sir, for your valuable time and also for sharing these insights with us. So we are not left by much time in the conversation, just around 1 to 2 minutes. So very precisely, Daniel sir, I would like to re-invite you in the conversation for your concluding remarks.
Yes, please. Yes, my colleague Nalaya Pan will agree with me that we need to give our gratitude to the Tavasalan sir, who has been participating so much, the present PD and the former PD, as well. Yes, I'm the director. They have been very cooperative, and I've been observing and seeing the works of school education and participating in certain areas also, and I appreciate the work given by that. Yes, and also with Madam Dr. Vijanu Muri, we need to appreciate the contribution made by the Shiksha Lokam, the NGO-based best in Bangalore, for helping us in the reading festival, and also the input given by Tim Sunaro, the MD, and the officers there in the Samagra Shiksha. And also, I'd like to bring in a record the contribution made by former director Julius Selie and the present director of SCERT, Chumchanben Kikon, and Bajingdar Nayadan, especially in the School Leadership Academy. And also, not forgetting the contribution and the feedback given by our Commissioner Secretary, Kevalina Angami, and the works initiated by Christina Solo. And a host of persons whom we really need to thank for the success of the initiatives taken by our state. And I think this is it. And I want to say thank you, everyone. And I want to thank my colleagues and lovely host, Simran. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. And I'm pretty sure that the session has turned out to be very productive and inspirational for all the teachers, students, all the parents watching our sessions out there, because we had a lot to learn from all three of you and the initiatives that have been taken by the state of Nagaland. So individually, I would like to thank Daniel sir, Bijanu madam and Niliyappan sir for being with us in this conversation and highlighting these significant details for all our viewers. Thanks a lot. So thank you to all the viewers who have connected with NCERT for this particular live interaction. Now I am wrapping up this conversation, but here's time for another session, that is Sahyog, guidance for mental well-being and psychosocial support for all the students and viewers watching our sessions out there. So stay connected to NCERT official and keep watching eVidya channels. Namaskar.